Hello everyone and welcome back to AKMTB. Today we're gonna have a look on some camera stuffs, and we're especially gonna have some look on the Panasonic S5 camera. This is a camera that I use a lot. I use it for film and I use it for still images. It's a very good camera. Some people complain on the autofocus performances. It is not on level with a Sony camera, but it's still quite good. And most of the times I use manual lenses anyway, so it's not a big deal for me. I did one work with the kit lens here, which is a 20 to 60 millimeters. This lens is pretty decent actually, considering that it is a kit lens that came with the camera. And I was using this all out with an autofocus on a gimbal, and well, it was not there all the time, but most of the time it was pretty accurate. Anyway, today we're gonna talking about some questions that I got in some videos, especially where I used some vintage lenses. For example, I used this old school Helios 44, and I also used a newer version of it, which is called Helios 44-4. While this one is called just Helios 44-2. As you see in there, Helios 44-2. Besides that, I also using some other lenses. In this case, I have a Pentax A SMC. It's a 50mm and it's an 1.8. I have some others as well. I have a Super Takumar 35, and we have a Takumar A 28mm. All these lenses having different mounts. The most common one that you see on these lenses is the M42 mount. It's a screw mount that you're literally screwing into the camera. Some of them, however, have another mount. They have the Pentax K mount. So the difference between these two mounts is the M42 is a screw mount and the K mount is mounting a lot like a modern camera today. So the question for me was, how am I going to adapt all these lenses to the S5? Well, in this case, I decided to go for a L mount, which the Panasonic camera have, to an EOS adapter. So, EOS lens, Canon EOS, goes into here, and the other side is a Sigma L mount. The brand of this adapter is Urth. And the reason why I choose to go for EF to L mount is quite simple. I have some pretty good Canon lenses at my disposal on my work. So in some cases I might want to use them. And I'm also shooting quite a lot with the Blackmagic Pocket 6K. Which has the EF mount. So it would make sense to adapt all my vintage lenses to EF and from EF to the L mount. That means I could use them on my Blackmagic as well, and adapting these old lenses, the Pentax lenses and the M42 to EF is quite simple. For that you need adapters. There's a simple adapter that looks like this, that has threads here for an M42, and on the other side we have the Canon EF. The other one is Pentax K, PK to EOS. The Pentax K goes in here, and there's an EF on the other side. This adapter comes from K and F concept. While the M42 adapter is just a generic one. There's no brand on this. It's easy to find this on eBay, Amazon, and many other places, stores. Adapter rings and stuff like that are quite common now in the days of mirrorless cameras. So what I'm doing is literally removing the S mount, the L mount, the original lens from the Panasonic, and then I put my adapter here. And from this, I bought a couple of these rings. I just put them on my lenses like that, and now it is an EOS lens. And from here, it could simply goes into the adapter and done. This is quite convenient considering that I'm using two different systems. In this case, where I have another Pentax K lens, another adapter goes here, but it's still an EOS, so that means I could switch out the lens without any issues and don't have to like remove anything. It just goes on like a normal lens and I'm all set to go. Very convenient. That was also one of the reasons, as mentioned before, why I decided to go for the EOS mount and work around that system. Worked very well so far, and I never had any issues with focusing being off or anything like that. There's no issues to focus. Pictures look like they should. They are sharp, they are clear, and well, it just works. Another thing I did to adapt some of the older lenses is that I put some gears on it, like literally, like look like this. It just grows, that goes around the lens and makes it easier with focusing, especially if you're using a focus motor, which I do sometimes, but not all the time. That's also why I like this kind of gears, because they are small, they could always be on, and they work pretty good. This gears comes from Tilta. They exist in different sizes for different lenses. So also very convenient, works good. That's literally all there is to it. Adapting lenses to modern cameras are very easy. There's almost never any issues. At least in my experience, I didn't have any issues. If you have any questions about this, feel free to ask them below in the comments. If you like this kind of content in this video, give it a thumbs up and click here to subscribe and click here to see a playlist with more camera related stuffs. Thanks for watching and I see you later.